Hello everyone, and whether it's good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This is Rachel, and I'm here to present you with your 30-minute restorative session for beginners as part of our Cancer Research UK campaign. So we're going to start with sitting. You will need today probably a chair and any blocks and blankets and belt that you might have. But let's start by sitting either in the chair or on the floor. And we'll just have a few moments of quietness. You can sit cross-legged, you can sit with your legs straight, any position that's comfortable, but as long as you can keep the spine well lifted so that you're not collapsing down. So if you're cross-legged, make sure your thighs are parallel with the floor. Just bring your hands onto your thighs for a moment, and then bring the palms together in front of the chest and close the eyes and draw your senses inwards. Soft, smooth inhalation, soft, smooth exhalation. Quietening the brain, quietening the senses. Keeping the mouth, tongue, jaw, throat relaxed. But the spine alert and supporting the organs of the body. And then maintaining the lift in the chest, bow the head towards the heart. Release your hands down and raise the head, open the eyes and extend out your legs. And we're going to change the cross of the legs. So if you've got the legs crossed, change so that the other leg is in front. If you've still got the legs straight, then you can maybe take the legs a little bit wider and go on maintaining that lift in your spine. I'm just going to take the arms forwards, either interlock the fingers or hook the thumbs, or you can hold a belt if you've got stiffer shoulders and take the arms up and lift up as high as you can. Really push the palms, the knuckles towards the ceiling if you're holding the belt. And if you're interlocking your fingers, push the palms towards the ceiling and feel that space and lift in the back muscles, in the tummy muscles, in the waist, in the ribs. And then exhale, come down and release. And just do that once more. This time take the arms out to the sides, turn the arms, lift the arms up, palms facing each other, or again use your belt if it helps you to get more lift. Try not to be dropping the chest. So if your arms are very bent because of stiffness, take them wider and that will help you to keep them straight, and then they will help the body to lift up more. Okay, and then bring the arms out and down and stretch your legs forwards. We're going to be looking at a few forward bends today, so that's why I'd like you to have the chair so that you're not having to bend forwards towards the feet, and also have a belt as well. But we'll start off lying on our backs. If you need a support for your head, take a blanket or a cushion, and again, two different leg positions, either that cross leg position that you've just been in, or you can have the soles of the feet together, knees out to the sides. And remember that I've been saying in our sessions that really, if you're stiff in your hips, stiff in your groins, you should support your thighs when you do these lying down poses. So either, if it's legs crossed, blanket under the thigh and on top of the foot, or if it's soles of the feet together, then blanket under the outer thigh, so that when you lie down, the thighs then can release, and that softens the groins. Okay, so feet together, legs out to the sides, or cross legs, legs down, and then you can relax your arms by your sides, turn the palms towards the ceiling. Take some deep inhalation, deep exhalation, and just feel your whole body starting to release into the floor. Now, if this is difficult for you to lie down, again, those with the mobility issues, if it's difficult to lie down, you can do this sitting up so that you'd have your back against the wall, but sit on a lift or even sitting in a chair. But if you're able to, and indeed if you are sitting up, you can do the arm movements as well. Then take the arms and extend the arms over your head. Reach back as far as you can and feel that lovely stretch of the tummy muscles again. Don't have the arms bent, because actually that puts a little bit more pressure in the neck, and the abdomen doesn't get that extension. The spinal muscles don't get that extension. So really extend your arms to create freedom in the body. To create freedom. The arms and the legs, here it's actually the arms, of course. The arms and the legs are responsible for creating that space in the body, amongst other things. So if the arms aren't doing their job, then there's a kind of collapse inside. So we want to really stretch the arms and find that space. And then bring the arms back up. Now if you've got your legs crossed, you can change the cross of the legs. If you haven't got your legs crossed, you can just stay for another minute. And then once again, if you want to, stretch your arms over. The other thing you can do is hold the elbows. That's another option. Hold the elbows, especially if you haven't got room for the arms. And just let your jaw and tongue and throat be really soft and relaxed. Tummy relaxed. Okay, and then we'll bring the arms back and just bend the knees, put the feet flat on the floor, bend the knees towards the chest, hold around the backs of the knees, and take the hold of the right leg in isolation and stretch the left leg away. So we get this nice traction in the lower back on the left side and a sort of relax of the right side of the abdominal wall. Keep the right foot very relaxed, but the left heel extended. And then change. Stretch your right leg away, move the heel away. So you're using that leg to create some action in the lower back. So that's why you're stretching the leg out, not just flopping it out. But the left leg is relaxed so that there's a kind of weight releasing the left side of the lower back towards the floor. So the legs are doing different things. And then once again, squeeze the knees towards the chest. Place the feet down, roll to your side and come up from the side. Okay. So we're going to start with some seated poses and then we'll move into some forward bend work and then we'll come back to a couple of supine poses. So I'd like you to sit on a lift, and whether that's one of these foam blocks, whether it's a blanket or a bolster, that's up to you because of the way you sit. So we're going to start with this pose, Dandasana, with the legs extended out. And we're sitting right on the edge of the blanket, okay? Legs extended away. And the higher you sit, the easier it is to lift your back. So if you're very, very tight in your back and you're rounded in your back, sit higher. And then you can have a belt or some kind of tie. And you're going to put the belt around the feet. So we're not going to go forwards yet. We're just using the belt to help us lift up. So put the belt around the feet and try to lift your chest, lift your spine, feel tall in your body. Extend your legs away, broaden your toes, shoulders back and down. Try not to look down at your feet, but keep your chin slightly higher than chin level. Breathing soft. Eyes open. And then release the pose. So very still poses, these seated poses, there's not a lot of movement, but we still have quite a lot of strengthening to go on in the back and action in the legs as well. Okay, so now what we're going to do is take that straight leg pose and take the legs wide. So again, you can sit on some height. We're going to take the legs out wide, obviously to your limit. Don't go so wide that you get cramp in your hips. So just go to where you can. And we're going to take that belt again and turn towards the right side, bringing the belt over the right foot. So now we're holding one foot, turning away from the other leg, and again lifting the spine up, lifting the chest up. Trying to keep the chin above chin level so that we're not dropping the head forwards and down. moving the left side of the chest, the left side of the chest around towards the right leg, drawing the right shoulder back. So we're trying to get the center of the chest, in other words, to look over the center of the right leg. And then come back to the front, sit up in the middle. Let's take the arms forwards and up for a moment and get that lift up through the body. And then bring the arms down and turn towards the other side. Take the belt around the left foot. And again, we're turning the abdomen, turning the chest, trying not to drop the head down, keeping the right leg extended, even though we're not really paying much attention to it, but we don't want the foot to just go to sleep, because that will affect the way we lift the spine or muscles. And then turn as much as you can over that straight leg, over that left leg. Chin up, chest up. And then back to the center. And then once again, take the arms forwards and up and lift up. And then bring the arms down. Okay, now let's bring the feet back into this position where the soles of the feet were together. This is called Baddha Konasana, which means bound angle. This is the Sanskrit name for it. So the feet are together and they create a kind of circle of resistance, if you like. So you press your feet together, and what that does is it makes the hip sockets, the muscles around the hip sockets grip better, and that releases and opens the groins. And of course, some people can put their knees straight down on the floor very easily. Other people, the knees are very, very high. Other people like me, we struggle with this, but it's often to do with the anatomy that you're born with as well, the length of your greater trochanter, your hip bone. So just work with what you've got and sit higher if your knees don't go down enough, but don't worry if they don't reach the floor. Just work on pushing the feet together and extending from inner groin to inner knee. Push the heels hard together, and if you can, try and turn the sole of the foot towards the ceiling. Not easy, because that rotation relates to how tight the groins are. So if you've got tight groins, you might find that your feet are kind of glued together. But if you can somehow rotate the ankles, rotate the feet, you might find you get more opening in your groins as well. Okay, so we'll fold up those legs. You can see why some people call it butterfly pose. The common name in India is cobbler's pose, because if you go to India and you see the cobblers sitting in the street mending the shoes, this is the pose they sit in. But the Sanskrit name is Baddha Konasana. So we fold up the knees and stretch the legs forwards and come back to this pose, which is called Dandasana staff pose, because we're meant to be upright like a stick or a staff in the ground. So those three poses we're going to now take as forward bends. So this is where the chair comes in really handy. With forward bends, some people get very stuck in them. So I don't want you to think about having to get your head to your knee. If you can get your head to the knee, fine. But what about getting the knee to the floor first? So get those legs extended out. We'll sit on a lift, and again, sit high up if you're stiff in your back. So double the height. If you've got very tight hamstrings, you can put a rolled blanket or a cushion under the backs of the thighs, rather than always bending your knees, okay? Because that won't fix the problem. Try to actually get your quadriceps to contract, the front thighs to contract, to help the hamstrings not to overwork. Secondly, when you go forwards, if you're very, very stiff and you can't go forwards very much at all, you can bring your chair in and bring something like a big pillow or a cushion really quite close to you. Hold around the pillow and just fold forwards like that. It's really nice, because then you're going forwards to your limit. You might even be closer than that. You might have to have the chair much, much closer and be almost upright. But then if you can rest your head, it's a very quietening feeling. Okay, and those that can go further in the pose, still use the chair. It's quite good practice to use props sometimes and find out. And then you can rest your forehead, rest your forearms, and go forwards into what we call Paschimottanasana. Keeping those legs nicely extended. Softening the abdomen, so don't grip the abdomen, keep the breath nice and smooth and soft. And then we'll slowly come up and release. And you can stay for a bit longer if you wish to, but we'll move on to the next pose now. And if you remember, this was the wide leg pose that we did. So I'm going to spin myself around. And we went from one side to the other. So now you have to cleverly move your chair so that it's over the leg that you're going towards. So we take the legs out to the sides and we bring that chair over the right leg. We turn towards the right leg and then we go forwards, resting the head on the chair like that. So again, if you've got your bolster or a cushion or a pillow, you can do exactly the same as you did on the last one. So remember that you're trying to turn the abdomen and chest towards that right leg. This leg is extending away, the left leg is extending away, and the forehead is supported so that the brain can quieten. Very important in forward bends when you're relaxing, or when you're using them for a restorative sequence, that you keep the head supported. And if anyone has headaches, forward bends with the head supported is the best practice to do. Headaches, nausea, fatigue, chronic fatigue. Okay, and then you can come out and do the other side. And again, if you want to use the bolster method, I really like this. I can go forwards onto my leg, but this actually, for me, is really restful because there's no sort of, I'm not urging myself forwards. I'm simply releasing myself. The head is quiet, the brain is quiet, abdomen is soft. And then come up and release. And we'll go forwards with the chair in front. So you bring the chair in front and again, either use your bolster or you can just simply go forwards. And don't forget, forehead has to rest. So make sure it's a support that you can easily rest your forehead on. And your elbows can be folded or you can stretch the arms forwards. Combination of the two. Keep that lower back soft, abdomen soft, but legs very well extended. And then slowly come up and release. Now, if you remember, we did that one with the feet together. This going forwards is very challenging for a lot of people, me included. So instead of going forwards for that, just get the bolster and put that quite close to you. Bring the chair as close in as you can. If there's anyone that can go forwards, go forwards. And just stretch the arms forwards and try and get your head to rest on that bolster. So the chair is being pulled in towards your legs and your head is resting on the bolster. And if anyone can go further than that, obviously move the chair further forwards. And then you can slowly come up and release and move the chair out to the side. So we might use it in a little while. When you've done your forward bends, it's a good idea to do something like a twist, because often when you've gone forwards, you're stretching in that way. So you do a twist just to massage the lower back muscles. So if you again sit up on a lift and keep your legs extended out, raise the arms up and turn to your right side. Don't let your feet shift. So keep your buttocks grounded and turn towards the right side. Take the back of the left hand across the outer right thigh and turn. Lift your sternum bone, lift your chest. And then come back to the center. Again, raise the arms up, turn towards the left. So your back of that right hand is across the left thigh. But you've got to watch that you don't shift the right leg. You keep the legs stable. And then come back to the center and do that once more. Inhale, raise the arms up. Exhale, turn. Keep the top of the navel back. Roll the right shoulder back. Look over your right shoulder. And then back to the center. Last side. Inhale, raise the arms up. Exhale, turn. And then slowly come back to the center. Okay, so we're going to take the chair again. And these chairs are quite good because there's no back in them, so I can put my feet through. If you haven't got a chair with a clear back, you can turn it sideways if it's a dining chair and put your legs across so that your legs can rest properly, the lower legs. We're going to take the hips up on a bit of a lift. So let me show you. I'm going to put a bolster here. It can be a cushion, it could be a pillow. And then you might want to put some height on the chair as well. Like that. And you have to sort of sit very close to the chair on that lift. And then get your legs on the chair like that. So can you see the thighs are slightly slanted? In fact, I want to bring my chair a bit closer in. That's it. So there's a slight slant to the thighs, but can you see the shin bones are almost parallel to the floor, and they're supported right up to the back of the knee. Shoulders tucked under, and then my arms out to the sides. And then you're going to stay there for 5 minutes, really allowing the body to completely rest into the floor. Let the eyes softly close. Let the mouth softly close. And just feel the softness of the breath moving through the nose, watching that quiet inhalation and quiet exhalation to help the brain quieten. And feel as if the abdominal region is spreading and sinking towards the floor. And the weight of the thigh bones moving down towards the pelvis helps the lower back and the very, very lower abdominal region to completely surrender. And then if after a few moments you feel comfortable, you can stay there, as I said, for at least 5 minutes. If you feel like you need to come out at any point, then transition into a flat Shavasana, but maybe with the pillows under the backs of the knees, so that you don't rush out of this relaxation, but you transition first to Shavasana with the backs of the thighs, backs of the knees supported. And you allow the whole body to surrender into the floor. And then you decide when it's time to come out. The optimum timing for Shavasana is actually 7 minutes. So if you have a timer and you can put it on, see if you can stay here for 7 more minutes. And when it's time to come out, don't rush, just roll to your side. Stay for a few moments on your side. And then you push your hand into the floor to help you come up. And you look at the floor as you come up. And you sit and you bring your palms together in front of the chest. And you just keep that stillness inside for a few more moments. Bowing the head towards the chest to salute the heart, the light within. And then release the hands and open the eyes. So enjoy your Shavasana, and I'll see you next time.